Here we go. Back-to-back wins versus ranked opponents for the first time in 10 years. Coach Mox and the Who's, they got it going on, man. Getting rolling into February with some momentum. And with that said, let's go to beautiful Charlottesville, Virginia, and bring on the coach. Coach, first of all, great seeing you again. And, man, your ladies are getting the job done. Congratulations. It's been quite a ride, hasn't it?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a little up and down, but it's just all about building. We're just continuing to build here, and I just love the confidence that we're finally walking into now.
Did you pick up on anything prior to the wins at Florida State and then taking care of North Carolina? Did you get a sense that, hey, we're about ready to turn the corner?
Yeah, I think when we played at NC State, that was a really, really bad game for us. We just played as individuals. We weren't really playing together, moving the ball, and just being on one accord on defensive end. So we did a lot of soul searching, a lot of team bonding after that trip. So we got better at North Carolina, got better, and then we had Notre Dame at home, got better. Didn't get over the hump, but we were able to get over the hump at Florida State. It kind of just clicked there, but obviously came back here and dropped one to Pitt. But then again, we went back to some old habits, and we were able to correct that and come out on top against North Carolina.
Hey, it takes time to develop good habits. We've all been there before, and obviously they're starting to come to fruition. Coach, I want to re-rack that video we just watched because the celebration in the locker room, as great as it was, if we can show the video, there's water flying everywhere. Everyone's excited. And you, in all black, you see Coach there. She gets out of the way. You got to embrace these moments, Coach. And then the sneak attack. I don't know. What's the strategy here?
Well, because they try to – so at Florida State, I came in and I got them first. And then everybody kind of jumped in. So they were trying to sneak up on me that time. And I didn't know which way they were coming from. I thought they were in the showers, but they were somewhere else. So I was just ducking. I didn't know where they were coming from. But it was just all good fun.
The spur of the moment thing. Internally, you mentioned you did a lot of team bonding in the time where maybe the wins weren't coming to fruition and you felt like things weren't going the way that you wanted it to. What are some things that you guys did as a team? Give us some insight into the facility that really helped bring this team together.
Yeah, well, we do a lot of team bonding. We've done it all year, but really over that 6-game stretch, there were so many things. There were some positive things. We did words of affirmation. We went through each player, and everybody wrote down something they loved about that player, and then also something that that player can do to continue to help our team grow and be a better teammate, be a better player for our team. And that carried a lot of weight, and people were even moved to tears and just understanding that they do bring value. Everybody feels that. And so we did things like that. And then we also had some real talks, some real film sessions. They did some things on their own. We did some things that allowed us to communicate better. There were some activities that our sports psych gave us that we did.
Cool.
We did mental health training, too, with our sports psych pretty much throughout the year. So it was kind of like a combination of all those things. And they really did a good job of being leaders within themselves and holding each other accountable. So it's all work in progress, but I love what we're doing.
I love that.
Coach, that water bath, that shows me that is a coach with experience of winning big games. You've been through enough of those, whether you're playing or coaching, that you just got to know when to put. You got to know when it's time to attack. Right? The fact that you went into the corner and ducked like you were a piece of furniture tells me that hey, you knew what was coming down the pike here. That was a smart move.
I got to stay one step ahead. I know where they're coming from.
I love it. By the way, we also mentioned this on Monday's show. It all kind of coincided with not only the great effort in the win, but also the 50-year anniversary of women's basketball at the University of Virginia. All of that seemed like the perfect storm, didn't it?
It was amazing. Honestly, it was amazing. We had legendary coaches like, obviously, Debbie Ryan come back. Even Joanne Boyle came back. But, just so many UVA GOATs were in the house. Wendy Palmer, Audra, Charlita. There was just so many. I could name a bunch of them. But just to have all those alums there and then for them to pour into our young ladies, they watched practice, they talked to them after, they gave them words of inspiration, encouragement. They told them they were proud of them, but they also shared their stories, from their Final 4 years and all the banners that are hanging in the gym and the adversity they went through and the togetherness they built and the life lessons they learned. So that was huge. It was right on time. And we also had a dinner event that was pretty powerful too. But our players were very, very inspired by that, and they just took that on, and they just came together, did their jobs individually so we could do our job as a team.
It's really cool. You have a mix of players on this team, some veterans, some young ladies. I know you're building a culture there. One player, though, at the center of your 2 upsets is a freshman. We talk about freshmen in this league and the stars. We talk a lot about Hannah Hidalgo, but Kamura Johnson deserves some praise, too, because she had 35 against Florida State. She did it again in the win over North Carolina. Every category on the stat sheet, she was outstanding. Coach, when you have a player like her, what have you seen out of her and her growth this season and how she's really elevating this team, even as such a young player?
I mean, she's special, you know, and we knew that right from the recruiting process from watching her in high school, but she's a 3-level scorer. She does it on both ends of the floor. She facilitates, she has an IQ, she gets us organized, and it's her first year of doing all of this. So she's really starting to assert herself in games, especially early. I think coming into a team where there's a lot of 5th years and 4th years, she kind of, you know, was finding her way early in the season, but now she understands that people are looking to her for leadership. It doesn't matter how young she is or you know, what year she's in, and she's really owning that role and just getting better and better and continuing to evolve.
Coach, we spoke with Georgia Amore earlier this week, and obviously Virginia Tech on Thursday. All these conference games are important, right? There's so many good teams that got a number beside their name. Even ones that don't can shock everybody. You guys have proven that. But this game feels a little different, doesn't it? Or are you taking it like, hey, it's just another ACC game on a Thursday? But when I say Virginia Tech, what pops in your head?
I mean, rivalries always give, you know, get your blood boiling a little bit, get some juices out, competitive juices going. But I mean, the way that I try to prepare our team is, you know, you don't play the number in front of the name of the school if they're ranked. You don't play, you know, you play, and we prepare the same way. Be consistent. We've struggled with that a little bit this year when you saw us drop a game to Wofford, go beat Florida State, and then drop to Pitt, and just understanding nothing against Pitt or anything, but just understanding that anybody in this conference can beat you on any given day, and we can beat anybody on any given day. I truly believe that. So I just want them to be focused, and let's just stay consistent, you know, and just keep moving in the right direction. But you know, rivalry games, those are always fun. You know it's going to be competitive. You know it's going to be a dogfight. Fans are going to be there. I mean, I always look forward to that. And I also have a lot of respect for Kenny. I've known him for probably 20 years now or more since I was a player. And he's a good friend of mine. And I love what he's doing over there.
Yeah,
you're doing great work in Charlottesville, and Taylor and I have talked about this a bunch, man. The future is really, really bright in Charlottesville for women's basketball, and you get a lot of credit, you and your staff and your players. And keep up the great work and stay healthy the rest of the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Coach.